Hey there, NASCAR fans. Welcome into another episode of the Highline Podcast. I'm Jason Mattis. He's William Blackwell. How's it going there, William?
It's going good, man. Chase Briscoe just got his first win of his career in the Cup Series after 39 attempts. So things are going well for my favorite driver. I'm wearing a Stenhouse hat, obviously, but Briscoe getting the job done in Phoenix is very good to see as we see yet another rookie win in the Cup Series. Now we're going to Atlanta Motor Speedway this Sunday, and I expect quite a bit of unknowns to go around. We don't know how the track is going to race. Will it race like Daytona or Talladega or like an auto club or more like the 2019, we call it All-Star race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway where they ran the restrictor plates on them. Time will tell, but I am very curious to see what plays out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens at the AMS this weekend. Obviously, with the revamp, we're going to get into it here in a second, but definitely looking forward to the racing this weekend. Something that nobody's ever seen. Let's remind everybody what we do around here. We'll of course look back at last week's Ruoff Mortgage 500, where Chase Briscoe took home that checkered flag, and then we'll preview this upcoming weekend's Folds of Honor QuikTrip 500 down there at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. While we'll be giving you our picks for the NBC Sports Predictor app and the Fox Bet Super 6 app. With that being said, I know you want to talk about it. I was just going to let you take the show. Your guy. 14 car is in victory lane. Just talk about it, man. This is your time. You've seen your first one. I know you're happy over there.
All right, I'm happy. A lot of the viewers out there might be saying, and he wearing a Stenhouse hat. Yes, I am. I happen to have quite a few favorite drivers, and Stenhouse is one of them, but Briscoe is my number one by far. I was keeping an eye on him when he came into the Truck Series, and he was racing for Brad Keselowski, and he was doing a good job. And that team shut down at the end of 2017. And that's when things went south for Briscoe. He was in a hole. And eventually he found himself racing for Fenway in the Xfinity Series in the 60 car of Austin Cindric and Ty Majeski. And that year, all three of them drivers had the worst amount of luck a driver can possibly have. They all almost wrecked out every single race. No one thought Ty Majeski had a chance to race again in NASCAR. Right now, he finds himself in the Truck Series going full-time for Thor Sport Racing in the 66 truck. Austin Cindric finds himself in the 2-car for Team Penske right now, full-time, in the playoffs after winning the Daytona 500. And he got Chase Briscoe. 2020 was a very pivotal year for him. He came into the Xfinity Series after struggling in years past, and he was told he has to win at least 9 races to at least make a Cup Series debut, and he won 9 races that year. So Tony Stewart gave him the call to race in 2021, and as you would expect for a rookie, he struggled like hell. And eventually, the Indianapolis road course came around. He had a chance to win, but he made his name heard by the NASCAR top dogs, and then fast forward 1 year later in Phoenix, he gets his first win. So a big deal for him, but also for them 3 drivers I just mentioned. They overcame a lot, and glad to see that they're actually doing good right now.
Yeah, I still remember that incident there between Denny Hamlin back in Indianapolis last year. Tell the viewers, what were you thinking when Chase Elliott brought out the caution with all 8 laps to go? Did your heart fall on your stomach, or what were you feeling? Because that had to have been not obviously what Chase Briscoe fans wanted to see. Was that checker flag. So what were you feeling there when Elliott brought out that caution with about, 8 or 7 to go, something like that?
All right. When the first caution came out for Eric Jones, I was like, yay, that's good, because Chase Briscoe, I thought he was about to lose the lead. He needed new tires. He needed an adjustment or two to be made. And that was a good deal there. But when Chase Elliott spun out, I can't say what I exactly said on air, but let's just say it wasn't too pleasant. I was very upset when that happened.
A lot of F-letter words.
Yes, and like when something happens right off the spot, you obviously want to jump to conclusions and stuff like that. And I obviously did. And, Elliott spun out because he lost the restart. Like something stupid like that. But it was very interesting, though. He held off a hard-charging Tyler Reddick and Ross Chastain on the restart following. And he didn't get this win put in his lap. He had to earn it. And I respect that. He also led the most laps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he certainly did. What now? Trying to remove your I guess, your love of Briscoe and maybe your emotion tied to this race. We've sat here the first few weeks of the NASCAR season, talked about how great the races are. I didn't think this was all that great of a race. Obviously, this is easily, to me, the worst of the, was it 4 so far this season? By far the worst. I didn't think it was that great. What do you agree? Even though Briscoe won, it wasn't that good?
Even though my favorite driver won, I agree. This race sucked.
It did. Yeah.
Remember after last week's episode, we got off air and I told you if there's going to be a race that sucks, it's going to be Phoenix and Richmond. And Phoenix sure did suck because you couldn't pass. Track position was so pivotal, and if you did not have it, you weren't going to make much passes at all. And that's what also resulted in Briscoe winning the race because remember, when he was in the back of the pack, middle of the race, he was hardly gaining positions. He was losing a ton of time. So that just shows you the importance of track position at a track where you can hardly pass that. So terrible race. They should not ever think about laying that resin down again. That resin ruined the racing product and made it one preferred groove, and that's terrible, and they cannot do that again.
Yeah, and I hate it because obviously this is a championship race too, and you don't want to. You want the last race of the season to be entertaining and exciting and drama, and I don't know. Based on what we saw this past weekend, I'm not sure you're going to get that. One thing that we've been talking about each and every single week, we've been talking about the parity in the sport now with the next gen car. We've been talking about how the competition's kind of been leveled out. Maybe you saw the tweet, so maybe you know the answer to this question, but do you know the 4 drivers that have led the most laps so far this season?
Let's give it a go. You got Ryan Blaney,
number 1,
Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe. I'm missing one. Hold on.
You got while you're thinking of those, Briscoe was 2 and Reddick was 3. You got the 2 drivers for sure.
Blaney's in there.
He's 1.
And Chastain's
number 4. That's right. So that's what you're seeing here, folks. I love that. You wouldn't have said that last season or the season before, but you're seeing it with this car. You're seeing a level playing field, and that's exciting for every fan because you, as a fan, you want to think, even your Daniel Suarez's, your Corey LaJoie's, when you show up to a track one weekend, maybe this is the week I can get a win. And I think every team kind of has that belief this season. So it's really cool to see that. Top 3 this past weekend were Briscoe, Chastain, Reddick, young drivers, young guys that normally take time to grow into the sport and, get their footing and really have success. You're seeing it whether they're leading laps, finishing really high in the top 3 or even getting victories, with Cindric and Briscoe. So I like it from that. Terrible. I hated the race this past weekend, but that's going to happen from time to time. But I was happy to see if it's going to be a terrible race, let's get Briscoe into victory lane. So, Williams obviously ecstatic and happy.
And one last thing before we go into this Sunday's Folds of Honor QuikTrip 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. This past weekend, a lot of y'all saw it. Toyota is struggling, and they're struggling really bad. Kurt Busch was really the best one out there throughout the day, and it really surprised me. He brought home a top 5 finish, which was well-deserved, and Toyota has their work cut out for them. In qualifying, they might be qualifying towards the front of the field, but they're too trimmed out. And them engineers for them teams had to get control over it. I don't know what it's going to have to take, but they got to fix it one way or another. They cannot be too trimmed out for a race to where you're so fast and qualified in the top 10, and when the race starts, you have no handling at all when you fall completely back, because that's what's happening for them. And they're also having overheating issues because of the grill and how much grill tape they're wanting to put on. They're wanting to push it because they can get more speed out of it. Mm-hmm. But Toyota, I expected a manufacturer to struggle once they went to the next gen car. Toyota's definitely it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I actually had that in my notes that Toyotas were bad and the Chevys were good this past weekend. You heard Kyle Busch on his radio saying he's driving a piece of junk. Yeah, Toyotas are definitely struggling right now earlier on in the season for sure.
Remember how petty he is. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah. We got comments on our video last week. People agreed with us that Kyle Busch is just, his antics aren't popular with I don't know, non-Kyle Busch fans. I think if you're a Kyle Busch fan, you don't mind it. But if you're not, you're turned off by that guy.
Yeah, but Kevin Harvick also had a great result, great showing. I thought he was going to have a chance to win the race on that last restart.
Yeah.
He kind of played a little bit of defense to help out his teammate, which I can respect. On that restart, he actually forced Chastain to go down some.
I was going to say, and Briscoe predicted that and blocked him. Like, that was just fantastic by Briscoe to know what was coming. That's the experience that this guy's growing. He knew what Chastain was going to do. So, yeah, that I gave a lot of credit to Briscoe there on that restart to block Chastain.
And I don't know if we went over this yet. Briscoe made a great point at the end of the race when he was interviewed. Like, it was on, forgot, it was an NBC or something like that. But he was interviewed and he said something good. The next gen car has really suited well for all the drivers that have dirt racing backgrounds. Chase Briscoe's won a race. Tyler Reddick is very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Larson, a dirt racing god out there. He is winning week in and week out. And Alex Bowman, he's already won so far. So that is 3 out of the 4 races so far that a dirt driver has won a race. So that caught my attention. And
yeah, nice little note there.
Yeah.
Nice little note there. All right, let's turn our page now to this weekend. The Atlanta Motor Speedway is going to be holding the Folds of Honor QuikTrip 500. It's going to be different this week, folks. It's going to be a 1.54-mile track. The back stretch is now the front stretch. The banking is increased by 4 degrees. It's now up to 28 degrees. If you listen to some drivers, they predict that this is going to race like a super speedway. The interesting part, though, is racing like a super speedway. You're like, okay, so I know what I'm going to get, like a Daytona Talladega. Those are 2.5-mile tracks. Guys, whatever is going to be happening this weekend is going to come a lot faster to these drivers. I mean, you're talking about a significantly shorter track than Daytona and Talladega. So, boy, if we get a super speedway stop racing on a 1.5-mile track, ooh, watch out. What are some of the things you're looking for this weekend there at the Atlanta Motor Speedway?
The thing I'm looking forward to the most is when I've heard the drivers' feedbacks about this track and when they tested back here in January, you have Kurt Busch representing Toyota, Chris Buescher representing Ford, and Ross Chastain for Chevy. They all had the same point. It's going to race like a super speedway. They do not think they'll get stranded out like they have been in the past. And exit off corners are going to be very pivotal because off of turn 2, the bumps are very significant. And if you hit the right or wrong bump at the wrong time, you can get spun around and have a big, big wreck. And off of turn 4, they're going to have a lot of wrecks there. It's so bumpy and it's so tight. No one's going to want to give, definitely at the end of the race. So you will probably see some bad wrecks this Sunday, but that's just a result of the super speedway type of racing. But I don't think they'd be racing 3 wide. I just don't think they would be spread it out more than about 15 seconds. That's like not bad at all, but I think the thing that will catch my attention will be like the tandem drafting, because back in 2011, when NASCAR repaid the Daytona International Raceway, the cars were going so fast, and tandem drafting was the way to go, because if you were going in packs, you were slowing each other down so much. So I expect tandem drafting, but as the years go on, maybe 3-4 wide racing, time will tell. But at least I know for a fact the lower 2 series will race in packs. Cup is an unknown.
Yeah, what you talked about there, I wanted to touch on that as well, because I remember back in January, you mentioned those 3 drivers, Busch, Buescher, and Chastain. I watched on the YouTube channel that day, Atlanta Motor Speedway's YouTube channel, as those 3 guys were testing it out, and then I listened to their subsequent interviews afterwards. The things that kind of stuck out to me is actually Kurt Busch even spoke on a 2 wide or 3 wide. He predicted 2 wide, kind of like what you're saying. He thinks it's a little too early in terms of guys knowing the track to feel comfortable doing 3 wide. And then the other thing, just to reinforce that we think it's going to be a super speedway type field this weekend, Chastain in one of his comments said he needed to go make friends out in the guys in the garage, because he was kind of joked like, I don't have enough friends, but when I come to Atlanta, I'm going to need friends because this is going to race like a super speedway and I need somebody to draft with. So I think even though it's a new track, I feel like we do kind of know what's going to go on. I would predict early hesitation from these guys as they try and feel the track out. They try to feel out how fast can I get from the back to the front, or kind of passing and what have you. And then late in the race, stage 2, maybe definitely stage 3, but maybe stage 2, once they feel like they get a grip of how the racing is going to be and how the passing is going to be with the tandem drafting, chaos late, absolute chaos. If it's going to be a super speedway, hesitation early as we get adjusted, but absolute chaos late in the race.
And put the icing on the cake. In the weeks past, they have practice and qualifying. This Friday, they have cup practice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great chance of rain. So they're going to probably go into that race with almost little to none experience racing in a pack at Atlanta. So That's going to be very interesting if this all plays out. The weather right now is looking good for the weekend, but Friday is very uncertain because I live near the track and some bad weather is supposed to be coming in that day. It might shift up, might shift south, but time will tell. But right now, things aren't looking good for Friday's practice session, and going to be very interesting to see what NASCAR does because I would think they would want to have at least a couple laps in the pack, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to have a bad racing product.
Yeah.
Just
I didn't
because they
realize
might
it was going to get weather Friday night. Cool.
yeah, and that's going to play a big factor with a lot of teams in their setups because they might be setting up for the race rather than qualifying. And that's where I would think your Hendrick cars would be very quick.
Yeah, good point right there. You mentioned, I know you were at this race last year. You're going to get down there this weekend?
I sure am. Home track.
You getting down there for Xfinity Cup? What are you getting down there for exactly? You getting down there just to...
Going down there. The plan is to go down there for the Friday practice sessions and get inside, look around, snag a couple autographs here and there, but to look at the practice to see what the product is. Are they racing 3 wide, 2 wide, or just riding around on the top, just single wide? And that's what I expect for the race to be like, just a top line race. If they want to move, they go down with 2 cars and pass them tandem draft, and yeah. That's how I think the race will play out. But Friday, practice, get some autographs, go home. And then Saturday, do it all again, but go for the qualifying sessions for a truck, Xfinity Cup, truck race, Xfinity race, and then Sunday, get the Cup race, the biggest of it all. Going to be a big unknown, but the only 2 races like I expect for 100%, it's going to be like a restrictor plate track. It's going to be the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series. The Cup Series, the next gen car is unknown. Last year's car would have probably raced like a plate race here, but this next gen car is bringing a lot of confusion around the pit road and including their fan base. Wow.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, I know you're poised for a good weekend. As always, all your YouTube and Twitter information is down in this video description. You're going to be blogging while you're down there or anything? People should be going over to your channel and checking it out. What are you going to be doing for any content-wise that we should be checking out your YouTube channel?
For this weekend's race at Atlanta Motor Speedway, I plan on doing a vlog. And it's going to be not quick recap. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video of my weekend. I'm going to film almost everything. And you got to stay tuned to this channel right here. And also my channel at William Blackwell. I'm going to be doing tons of giveaways. And remember, we're going to be entered in the giveaway. You got to be subscribed to both channels. And we can figure out who is and who isn't. But all you got to do is subscribe and comment down below in a video or two, and we'll let you be entered, and we'll let you know what you won because there could be a lot of giveaways going on.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, make sure you get on over to his channel, check out that great video content, and then come back next week. We'll start doing some giveaways. William will obviously pick up some cool merchandise. All right, let's turn our attention now to the NBC Sports Predictor app. This is, of course, where they give you guys $10,000 if you correctly answer all the questions. I'm also giving away $25 each and every single week to the winner of the Winning Bets League. If you need that league information, you can go ahead and grab it from this video description. If we take a look last week, we see it was a 2-way tie with 25 points. Lucky winner, and VIPC goes ahead and gets the win. So all you got to do is hit me up on Twitter, and each of you will split that $25 prize. Everybody starts this week with 0 points. So good luck to everybody this week. I'm going to be quite honest, I feel like I know the kind of racing I'm going to get, but if I'm going to be completely honest with our viewership. Normally I spend a good few hours researching, obviously, track history, track tight, guys' momentum, what have you. I didn't do that this week. I kind of just farted around and just kind of went with kind of off the top of my head, to be quite honest with you guys. So I'm actually going to take the floor first. I'll just reveal all my picks, and then William, if he, maybe if he did the same kind of thing I did, or maybe he actually did his normal amount of research. Even though I feel like you know what you're going to get, there's enough unknown to me where I kind of just farted around. So my stage 1 winner, I picked Austin Dillon. My stage 2 winner, I picked Eric Almirola. My stage 3 winner, I picked Chase Briscoe. And then for my top 3, I did Bubba Wallace, Daniel Suarez, and Michael McDowell. All right, what did you pick this week on the NBC Sports Predictor app?
Wow, you're going full on the upset there.
I just was feeling it,
All right, I played it safe for the stages because I need points, and right now I'm struggling in the point standings. I'm way behind, especially after Phoenix. So I'm going with Joey Logano in stage number 1. Stage number 2 will be the 9-car Chase Elliott. And for Chase Elliott, it's a big race. It's his home race. And lately is the Georgia sports teams have been doing good. UGA won the football national championship, and the Braves won the World Series. So Chase Elliott feels the urge to win at his home track. So stage 2 will be good for him, and it'll set him up for a great stage 3. But stage 3 will be Chase Briscoe. Gonna have a great week at Atlanta, his best intermediate track on the schedule, and that will result in him going to victory lane yet again. Back to back for a second-year driver. It's going to be an upset, but he will win this race and become the new points leader. Second place, however, will be the 17 car of Chris Buescher. A lot of y'all might be saying, what in the hell is he saying? Yes, Chris Buescher. Because whenever they race at a plate track, Chris Buescher's always around. He never gets wrecked out, knock on wood. But he never gets wrecked out, and he's always there at the end contending for the win. And I expect the same thing to happen here at Atlanta, and he is a reliable driver to put inside your top 3. Third place would be Chase Elliott in a 9 car. This might be pushing it a little too much, but in the 500 and in Talladega in the past, he has always had some type of issue and wrecked out of it. So I'm a little uncertain there, but I think my top 2 will grab me some points, and that's what I need here for the standings.
Okay, cool. All right, that's how we'll do it on the NBC Sports Predictor app, where you can win $10,000. Let's mention the Fox Bet Super 6 app, where you can win $10,000, because I forgot to mention last week, we're not going to give you guys our picks on that, just because, you'd be crazy not to watch stage 1 and then modify your picks. And, of course, follow us on Twitter. I, of course, tweeted my picks last Sunday during the race. I will say that, though. If the viewing audience says, nope, we want your picks on this video for the Fox Bet Super 6 app, just drop a comment. We're open to, obviously, you guys, and we want to make you guys happy, and we're here for you guys. So if we get enough comments here that says, please give us your Fox Bet Super 6 picks on this video each and every single week, then we'll do that. And, of course, we'll always tweet any modifications. But until we hear otherwise, we'll just go ahead and tweet our picks for that Fox Bet Super 6 app toward some more than likely towards the end of stage 1, kind of like what we did last week and the weeks before that. So that's how we'll do it there.
Yeah, just comment down below. We check the comments quite often, and I'll check it every so many hours. And if you respond saying you do, we will come back next week giving our predictions about the Fox Super 6 app for the Circuit of Americas. That's the next race, but still. Just comment down below what you want to see on this channel, because we will do it.
All right, good stuff. All right, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Something new for us, folks. We're looking forward to it. Let's just get a good race. I obviously said last week was kind of a downer. Let's just get a good race, and I know everybody will be happy. Enjoy it, William. I know you're poised for a fun 3 days down there. Come back with a bunch of fun stories for us next week.
10-4. Hopefully I don't freeze to death.
All right, buddy. Enjoy the race, everybody. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and good luck with your picks. If interested in placing real sports bets, then check out my latest daily free sports betting video in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next contest.